you have to play your Land of War Elves first turn. Because then you can play your Growth from the Ashes second turn. And have ramped up to playing your Gigantosaurus on turn 3.
Danny, I know.
Time to teach Peter a lesson.
Marcia, eat a Snickers.
Why?
You get a little hostile when you're hungry.
Okay, welcome to This Week in Magic for September 21st, 2018. This week we've seen some updates on the Arena Open Beta release. We've got Return to Ravnica spoilers are everywhere, and it has completely been spoiled, so now's the time to look at how to draft it and how to build a sealed pool. Using at the pre-release, and also a couple toys that are coming out, and some stuff that happened at the Star City Games Open. That kind of is a learning lesson, I think, for us all to take a look at. Anyway, we'll get right into it here. I'll just switch over to the email I received. This is the Magic the Gathering Arena Beta. Which starts September 27th. You can see the nice flashy graphics that they're throwing in the email. So it's Untap Upkeep Open Beta. They're happy to announce that on September 27th, 1 p.m. Pacific PDT, at this time the gates will be thrown open and players no longer need a closed beta key to access Arena. You know, I've been playing it for quite a while in the closed beta. As of September 21st, the in-game store will be going down. September 24th, it is going offline until September 27th at 1 p.m. Then it opens up, as long as nothing happens to any hiccups in the process. They're going to be wiping all accounts, and any purchased gems will be refunded to your account. Now, I don't know if that means that if you've earned gems through drafting or other means, if they're going to give you those gems or not, because I know when you spend those gems, they ask you if you wish to purchase whatever, and then so it treats it like the purchase has gone through, but I don't know if that will happen. The open beta welcome weekend on September 27th, as a thank you for all the bugs reported and all the games played in the closed beta. Anyone who had created an account in the closed beta will get an email with a code and that redeems masterpiece copies of 3 Planeswalker cards in MTG Arena. So everyone that's participated in the closed beta is going to get a Ral, a Teferi, and a Vraska. In the masterpiece form. They're also going to be hosting a special singleton event with no entry fee as soon as the open beta is live. Build a deck with only a single copy of any standard legal card and compete against other players for prizes to help kickstart your collection. And then they have a link to the announcement trailer, which I played a small clip of at the beginning there with the Snickers add-on. So they also have a little bit of this thrown up on the Wizard site. It's starting September 27th. You can download the game from the Wizard site right now. That way, when the open beta goes live, you can just play and keep going. Now, over the next few days, they did a Twitch stream explaining a few things with the answers and questions. 21st things go down, 24th the whole game goes down. Player accounts will be wiped, previously indicated. Gems purchased during the closed beta will be refunded as gems to their open beta account after wipe. Purchased gems and welcome bundles will be returned to accounts, as well as any rewards for codes that were previously redeemed. Now, the one reward that they did give us was during the Break the Servers event, because it broke within, I think it was 20 minutes, they did give us like 5,000 gold and a few packs. Now, I likely would see, I think you would see that come back into the game. I don't know if the wild cards are going to transfer that haven't been spent either. You know, there's a lot of questions towards this. They're saying only gems, but we won't know until the 27th, sometime next week. On September 26th, there's more than 300 Twitch streamers that will play Guilds of Ravnica early on MTG Arena. Cool. Now, to be part of that Twitch streaming, originally you needed 50 people watching your stream at once, or need to be pretty much monetized by Twitch or YouTube to be considered a streamer under their terms. It was a specialty thing that they set up where they would say they would give you rewards and all this other stuff if you did it, but then it also gives them access to your account, which I don't know if that's really a good thing. September 27th, round 1, the open beta is going to roll out. Select tabletop Guilds of Ravnica product will come with codes that are redeemable for in-game items in MTG Arena. These codes are not available in all regions. Now, the one thing I read in an offhand comment was that once you have one of these codes, only one code is redeemable. So I don't know if it's just going to give you an extra pack or some gems or something. During the downtime, it's monumental task. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. For closed beta players, an account wipe. If you played the closed beta, first of all, thank you. You know, and it says here that you're going to get Teferi, Ral, and Vraska. You'll notice a few things right off the bat when the open beta kicks off. The first time you log into the game, your account will be asked to update to a Wizards account in order to play. You will be able to update your username if you wish, and will be asked to update your password from at this point. From there, we'll walk you through the updating process. Secondly, we'll be doing a complete account wipe for everyone on the closed beta. This means that everyone will have all cards, wildcards, golds, and packs removed from their account, as well as all the rankings, quest progress, and deck lists. Everyone will start with the same starting collection and build from there. So there is a way to export your decks. I did try this a while back and I wasn't successful doing so. I'm guessing it's been updated, so you can do that now. After the wipe, we will reimburse any gems purchased during the closed beta, as well as a few other items to your account, to your updated account. Here is what will be reimbursed to your account after the wipe. Any purchased gems will be reimbursed in gems. Any purchased welcome bundles will be reimbursed. And if you participated in New Zealand, only Dominaria code tests will reimburse your account with a Dominaria pack. Other code rewards will not be refreshed. So they're giving it sounds like one free Dominaria pack to New Zealand residents if you got one of those codes, which seems kind of hokey. Note that this is only planned account wipe between now and full launch of the game. If you participate in the open beta, we do not plan to wipe your account when the game fully launches, pending some unforeseen circumstances. So it sounds like from this point forward, you're safe to keep your account. Additionally, there will be the special Singleton event, which we already went over. It won't cost any gold or gems It's on them, but you will need a constructed deck. So they're pushing the singleton event, which I'm actually going to get into this a little bit because there's some update on Brawl. Yes, it's true. Guilds of Ravnica on the 27th, 2 days before you can play it in stores. So it's 2 days before the pre-release, so this is like a pre-release. The big addition is Sealed. Gear up for a weekend pre-release with Sealed events on MTG Arena. The entrance into Sealed event, you get 6 packs to open and build, play against the others, just like at pre-release. But that's not all. We'll have a new Ravnica-themed arena for everyone whoever wanted to battle in the 10th district. New cards will come, new animations. So there'll be new animations, which is kind of cool. Now they go into so we are committed to ultimately providing a format of MTG Arena post-rotation. So once we have settled on how set rotation works, next year we will likely return previous sets to the system, including Kaladesh, Aether Revolt, Amoket, and Hour of Devastation. So it does sound like they're going to look into building more formats in here. So I don't know what this means for MTGO, if this means that MTGO is really going to die out, and this is what they're pushing forward. Starting with Guilds of Ravnica, select tabletop product will come with the codes. So pre-release packs, Planeswalker deck, and booster packs. Some booster packs, approximately 1 in every 8 booster packs will contain a code, limit 1 per account. So that's where they're saying that you can only enter 1 code per account. They're not available in all regions. So I'm guessing their New Zealand test went successful. Just the beginning. One of the new features let you decide how you want to play. We've added a new toggle that lets you switch between popular best of 1 experience that is familiar to MTG Arena players, or all modes, which includes best of 3 experience, more common to tabletop play. You can switch back and forth as you like. Toggling to one or the other will let you see the play opportunities best suited for those experiences. During the open beta, we will be working on adding in more top community requested features, like giving you ways to directly battle your friends. So it sounds like a friend list will come up, more experimental types of events, and more event variety, making player ranking and progression more meaningful, which I don't agree with. The rank system honestly should stay the way it is, where it's meaningless, because then the second you put in a progression system, now you're going to push, and everyone's going to be running net decks. They're going to push for that net deck. Yes, this is about making money, but it's more about having fun than I would say competition. Cosmetic items, so we're going to see card backs and more avatars, which if you watched one of the previous videos, I showed that one from PC Gamer where it did show card backs and a different layout. Better solution for what happens of a 5th copy of a card. So I don't know if they're getting rid of the vault and doing something else with it. And then there's a link here for if you want to download the game. Now, the other thing that's come up here, they're talking about Guilds of Ravnica, Magic Online Edition. There is a full Guilds of Ravnica card imagery gallery. Look for new counters. We're also putting up some other design articles. The most important thing in here, so we've got, this is more towards MTG Online. So they're talking about how they're changing things online as well. They're introducing a Gilded League, Friendly Sealed League, Competitive Sealed League, Friendly Draft League, Intermediate Draft League, Competitive Draft League, Friendly Constructed, Competitive Constructed, and Prestige Reward, the avatars. So now on MTG Online, you're going to get more avatars, much like what they're doing with Arena. And now it looks like they have certain drop rates and common, rare, and mythic versions of them. Alternative play, they're doing a triple Innistrad draft on the end of October. Now, the one big important thing that has happened to MTG Online is Brawl is being sunsetted, meaning it's no longer going to be available. Pretty much the gist of this says that there were people waiting too long to queue up because there wasn't enough interest in the Brawl setup, which, when you have EDH and you can play with all the cards that are out there instead of this shortened list that completely rotates, it's no surprise there. A lot of people that have been playing MTGO, they have a lot more cards, and maybe if new sets of players were going into Brawl there, you might see it, and that's kind of where they're taking Brawl and putting it into Arena, but we'll see what happens there. They're really pushing that Brawl in Arena right now, but they're sunsetting it online. Updates the treasure chests, and there's a whole ton of new drop rates on what you can get in treasure chests, and also online they did a final adjustment for Nexus of Fate several months ago. Buy box promo cards will always have a relative drop rate of 50. This will ensure that there's enough copies of the card in the system for people that want to play it. So that's great for online, but what about paper Magic? So now, the other big thing that's out is pretty much everything's been spoiled. You can head over to mythicspoiler.com and check all those out. I'm not really going to go through them all. I'll do a quick little scroll here with them. Chromatic Lantern being a good reprint. Now, there was one thing that I did notice when I scrolled through this earlier, is the amount of Dimir cards that are in this set. There is a ton of Dimir, so I don't know quite what the storyline's looking like with Return to Ravnica, but it looks like Dimir has taken a prominent stand in it. And you can see here, going down the middle, there's been a ton of Dimir cards. There's a little bit in Celestia, but the Dimir style cards are quite heavily shown here. It could be because just the way it got shown there, but that's my best guess, unfortunately. So yeah, just head over to Mythic Spoiler if you want to see those. The other thing that seems to have come out is it looks like they're putting out some Lego sets. We got a Magic the Gathering Karn. It's a first look. I found this on Reddit. It looks like it got posted up on Tumblr. Cool. Ages 6 to 13. Considering Magic is a 13 plus product for the paper card game, now they're targeting audiences as young as 6. You know, 13 is just their magic number on what they're saying the target demographic is, but the game is played by all ages, from 5 all the way up to 70, so that's kind of cool. So the one thing I want to talk about, I saw this. There was a situation where at the Star City Games Classic, the head judge ruled that opponents can end your declare attacker phase with a question. Now, the one thing about that, kind of reading what I got here, it to me it was they weren't declaring their attackers properly, is what I read here. I'm just going to go over the post here that I found on Reddit. Here's the situation. My opponent's at 12, no blockers, all his mana is up, I have 12 power across 3 creatures. I say go to combat, which I've had this happen, where I ask combat, and he taps a creature and say attack here, immediately tap the next creature saying attack here, and before they could attack, say the third one, the opponent interjects and says, oh crap, I die right here. So with their hand on the card, they answer the question saying, yeah, I think so, and he taps his last guy to attack. Then the opponent says, no, you already declared your attacks. And the judge got called over. And they answered the question saying priority was passed, and there was only 2 attackers. And so they appeal, the head judge comes over, and they uphold it and saying that he gained information by the question that was asked. Now, when I'm playing Arena, when you go through the attack steps, it shows you directly, it goes combat, then attacks, then you declare your attackers, right? So there's still the 2 steps involved in there. Now, the way this looked like was he tapped a creature, tapped a second creature, and he said, this one's attacking, went to go do the third and was interrupted by his opponent, and the judges ruled in his favor. This is why for me, personally, I will tap my creatures, and then I will think about it and say, I attack with all of this. That's how generally you're supposed to do it, is have them all attack at once, declare it all at once. Don't declare one at a time, because then stuff like this happens and it really hurts your game, and it will hurt the way things go. And in this case, it was ruled against him, and unfortunately it sucks that it happened like this and he was interrupted. But at the same time, this is another angle shooting tactic that has been used in quite a few games, and I've seen it personally. The other thing that I want to just quickly go over here, there is a couple sites that I use before a pre-release comes out, and the one in particular, the Draft Sim site, the Return to Ravnica cards have been updated on it, so you can do a sealed pool or a draft pool and get some stuff in there. I'll just bring it up here real quick. It's draftsim.com. I personally use this quite a bit. When it comes up, you can see there's a Return to Ravnica there, M19 Dominaria. You pretty much can play anything, and you can mix around with this. So I just started a new draft here. There's no time limit here. And you can see the cards, get a feel for the cards, get a feel for how they're going to go. Now, just to note with this, it is against bots, it's not against other people. And so when you go through the picks, at the end of all the picks, it'll show you your pool, and it'll allow you to auto build, or you can build your deck that way. There's also the option here to see how the bots picked, and there's even suggestions, so it kind of gives you an idea on the overall, and this will go up and down as you go through the draft dependent on the colors that you end up in. So if you go through the suggestions, it's a good starting point for people that want to have a good idea on the draft. There's also the sealed portion of it, so you get to see your entire sealed pool. The only problem with this is you don't get, it's kind of jumbled here, so it's really a little bit difficult to see what you get there, because it goes by color and not by the pack. You can sort pool, and then you can also auto build, and it'll build you a deck of 40 based on what you have here, and it'll even give you a deck list here, which in some cases you can turn around and drop that into another program, much like Xmage. There's also Cockatrice. The other site that I just want to bring up here is mtgen.net. They do a sealed deck card generator. You can see what the Core 19 will generate. It'll also give the pre-release pack. the extra card, and it brings up a little bit extra here with it. Sure, it shows you the life, the spin down life counter, and you can also go by rarity in here. You can do overall rarity right there. So now you can see what all your rares or mythics were, and you can build from that, and then you can also sort by color. So it's really nice because then it goes rares, uncommons, commons. Right? It even shows you what foils you might get, and in this case it would have been a Thorn Lieutenant was the pre-release promo. Another program just to talk about, it's only available on Google Chrome, and that's Untap. It's a generator where you can actually do live drafts with other people. They do get updates quite a bit. There's also a lot of other things that you can do there, and it actually seems to be its own community. There is Xmage and Cockatrice for other programs that are out there for basic testing of the game. If you want a feel for the cards early, these are some of the resources I personally use. I don't think I'm going to get to go to this pre-release as I do not have the money to do so. So, with that said, this week in Magic that's what I've seen this week. That's what's caught my eye. Lots of spoilers. Go to Mythic Spoiler. The other site that I like to use to look at the spoilers, because they put a price point and they actually sort it out by color, and it's in fairly good detail, is the Star City Games website. The spoilers and all the cards, you can take a good look at them and have an idea on what to build when you go into the tournament next weekend for the pre-release. Anyway, if you like this video, give me the thumbs up, share it around. I've also got a Patreon set up. I do have Steamlabs set up. I am trying to live stream. It's pretty much almost daily. It's 11 o'clock Mountain Time. If you are down east in Toronto, I believe that's 2 hours later for you guys. So it would be 1 p.m. there, or 1 a.m. there. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please, I am looking for those first Patreons, and just the description will be down below. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Okay, sorry, I'm back. There was some breaking news this morning. I wanted to get this in the video as soon as possible. Gary Thompson of the Pro Tour, he is protesting the state of the Professional Magic Pro Tour and the World Championship, which is actually starting today. So there's been a developing story that seems to have come out this morning. He lists a ton of reasons why he's making this. One being it does not pay professional players a living wage. They don't promote the players well. The communication is notoriously poor, and there's not enough Pro Tour invites for the player base. Coverage is abysmal, and the rampant cheating that has happened in the Pro Tour scene. This has been all over Reddit this morning, and it's already been upvoted 5.8k times. I'll link it into the description below. I'm sorry it's not at the beginning of the video. I'm just going to add this at the end because of the situation that has developed. I was trying to get this out because I have engagement later today that was going to prevent me from getting this up and out. But I wanted to get this out there and let people know that there is a story that's developing out of Wizards of the Coast. There's also, they made a post about the experimentation that they're doing, and they've already made a statement towards it saying, this weekend we're crowning the 2017-2018 Pro Tour Series champion and the 2018 Magic the Gathering World champion. Early this morning, Gary Thompson, so they're naming him right out of the bat, announced his intentions not to participate in the Magic the Gathering World Tour, the World Championship. We wish this weren't the case, but we respect his desire to make his voice heard. Pro player consultants are working directly with us to shape and mold the Pro Club. 2 additional Pro Tour a year raises the overall prize pool, and commentators like Paul Sharon and Simon, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that last name, are seasoned pros who provide engaging commentary. There's still room to grow, and this is going to be a big year as we continue to improve Pro Magic in 2019 and beyond. So they have no intentions on getting rid of the Pro Tour, but there is a lot of issues behind that. He does talk about how when they travel, they're not getting compensated appropriately. He also talks about the Silver Showcase, how there was 3 pros that ended up in that Silver Showcase that weren't playing Magic anymore. They had moved on to Hearthstone and got rewarded for moving away from the game. And these pros are starting to feel like they've been let down by the whole system. So I'll link this down below. It's worth reading the whole thing. There's lots of good points in here, but I figured I'd add this onto the discussion. The other thing that's come out is Wizards made an experimentation post this morning about the Mythic Edition Guilds of Ravnica. They're talking about how you can pick them up at the Grand Prix after you do the pre-order. So in particular, you're looking at like Montreal and Vancouver, and it's come up with a way to get around customs and the expensive shipping costs to get around that. So you're looking at Montreal with tax is $287 American, which works out to approximately $380, I think, Canadian. And in Vancouver, $279. So you're still at that $370, $360 mark. But that is a big time savings because you were looking at $455 before. Anyway, guys, thanks for sticking it out. Sorry I had to come back and just add this to the video. I was hoping to get it all done in one take, but unfortunately, with the news that was going on this morning, I figured I better add it to this week's In Magic. Anyway, thanks everyone. Oh, and I also want to make a big shout out to Rebecca Heinrichs because she's my first patron. I made a post yesterday on Twitter and she signed up, and I thank you from the deepest part of my heart. It's going to go a long way if we can continue to grow this channel and grow my voice in the Magic the Gathering world. Thank you everyone. Have a great day.